Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back, it's Jordan here. Today we're going to be taking a detailed look at all of the changes that I've been able to make to the Lego room and Lego City over approximately 2 months, actually 50 days. The last time we did a complete Lego City overview was on April 29th. In addition to taking a look at all these changes, we're also going to be firing up the trains. As you can see, they're going around the track right now, but we're going to be having a look at those trains through a POV or point of view perspective. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited about it. It's been a while since we've done that as well. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see what these trains see as they fly around the Lego City. So we actually have 3 trains operational in the city right now. There's the Hogwarts Express, which is making its way around the amusement park. And then there is the yellow and blue Lego City passenger train on the ground line. That one is a little bit shorter than we've seen in the past, just having a few difficulties with the gradient underneath the raised platform right now, but I'll get that fixed in the future. We also have the high-speed passenger train, which will make its way around the raised line throughout the entire Lego City. So it's pretty cool having all 3 trains operational. Feels pretty good. I've worked really hard on my train layout as of lately, and this is by far the best train layout the Lego City has ever seen in any layout. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's just so much fun to have these things ripping around the track all at once. Unfortunately, the Disney train is currently stationed at the Studgate train station there. It is not operational. It could go around the city line, but it wouldn't be able to make its way around the ground line at this particular point in time. But I hope to fix that in the near future as well. So why don't we start this tour off by taking a cruise around the city on the raised train line. Adding this was actually quite the project. I've done a few different versions of it throughout all of my different Lego City layouts, but this is by far the best layout. Like having the train supports built onto the actual platform coverings, but some of those studs on the top of the tunnels that you just passed by there before the amusement park, I need to fix some of that, maybe add some green spaces on top of those studs just to remove it. This is such a cool perspective though, just seeing the trains pass through the train station and through the city and around the big colorful telebeam that's covered in Lego and around the corner through the downtown core and back toward the mountain and also the train station, which is built into the platform covering. Not a bad train ride there. And you know what? I actually have some other shots as well. That was forward facing. I also have sideways facing and backward facing as per request from the last POV train update. So I'll be adding some more POV footage throughout this entire update. But first, let's take a look at some of the changes I've been able to make to the Lego City over the last 50 days, because there's been quite a bit of them. The recently upgraded beach has been fully populated, so we actually have minifigures everywhere now, and there's all sorts of stories being told, such as sandcastle tournaments and just people chilling out on their beach blankets. We've got some sea turtles, some surfers, dolphins, and even Batman cruising through the little river. It seems like I keep working on my campground because the campground is just such an amazing place here in the Lego City, and over the past 50 days I've been able to add some more trees to the campground. However, with that said, 20 of my trees have actually been removed from the campground because they're currently on display at Brickworld Chicago, but it's still pretty full over here. The ones that we added are the Technic built trees, and they have the autumn colors, and we actually referenced some of the building designs out of the A-frame cabin, and we were able to build some pretty amazing trees. This is the largest of the new trees. I really like that design found in the A-frame cabin. I built them in all different shapes and sizes and colors, and we also added a bunch of birch trees as well. And these different autumn colored trees can be found pretty much all throughout the campground here, and also on the raised platform, which we're going to have a look at in one moment. But I just think that these autumn trees added a really nice pop of color to the existing campground, which was a bit too green, and I think the different varieties do a nice job of changing it up. As you saw in that POV shot, we now have a train station that is built right into the platform coverings. So this is also a new addition to the Lego City. It's nice having more than one train station. It makes sense, and in fact I want to add another train station built into the platform coverings for the ground line, and I plan on building that probably behind these houses here, and it's probably going to match the style of this elevated train station. I also did some landscaping out front of it here. So this gazebo has been relocated many times, but I think this is its permanent home. There is a waterfall that's coming down right here beside that train station, and then a little creek that flows through this little park area here. There's a bridge that people can use to access the zoo after they hop off the train. And then this creek actually flows underneath this bridge here and makes its way to the canal where the Venetian houses are. And the farm is looking pretty cool. This is a new spot for it. It was moved here. I still need to add some more details to this area. I want to add a lot more trees and do a lot more texturing in the green areas around the farm. And I also just want to add some more detail in this little forested area here. So it's going to be pretty neat when I'm able to get all of that done. But I definitely like this new train station, and it's pretty neat how it's right above this train tunnel. And we're going to see the ground line pass through it right now. And then also the raised line pass over top of that tunnel. I think it's time to take another ride on a train. Why don't we take a look at that ground line? So yeah, this is actually going to be a sideways one. First off, we see the Ferris wheel, the Hogwarts Express, and the raised train. Pretty neat. And then we can see a lot of the faces of the modular buildings, like the Boutique Hotel, the Pop Culture Street, the bowling alley, also the construction site, all sorts of little green spaces. Sorry if this makes you a little bit dizzy, but it is a really cool sort of POV shot, right? Now we're gonna enter into a tunnel here. Don't get scared because it is pretty dark in here, so don't worry. I wouldn't mind doing something in here, and I think adding that train station built into the tunnel would actually look amazing. And so yeah, adding some detail into the backside of the platform coverings is definitely one of my priorities as well. Knowing that it's there would be super cool, and I think it'd look really neat from the POV perspective. So the train station services the raised platform, and that's been one of my major focuses over the last while here. It all started with the integration of the Mountain View Observatory on this massive mountain, right? It's like, oh, the Mountain View Observatory needs to be on the tallest peak here in the Lego City, so that's just what I did. I built the tallest peak, and it's taller than the Ninjago Mountain in the corner there. That's right by the zoo, and it's really neat how the zoo is between these two mountains, almost in like a valley. And then there's also that hill that is on the end of the campground. So I'm all about I've been all about custom landscaping over the last few months here, and I really like the way that this back corner is developing. So this was the start of the raised platform. After that, I decided to add an airstrip, and the airstrip represents my airport. A lot of people want me to add an airport, but I just don't have the space for it at this time, so I figured why not add just a little airstrip here. And I created this really neat dirt airstrip or runway, and there's a creek right beside that that sort of follows along, and this is the staircase that comes up from that elevated train station platform. Also, put 8 studs up here. It's been out of the Lego City forever, so it's good to have that back in the Lego City. And you can see some of those new trees that we added to the campground scattered throughout this area as well. Also built this custom little shack here, which is like, I don't know, maybe the keeper of the airstrip, I guess. There's a propane tank there, a wood cache, and over here there is a fire pit, but no fire is currently lit right now. So I've been working really hard on this raised platform, and the airstrip was one of the things that I was really excited about adding. And beside that airstrip, there is the forest hideout. Just a little medieval thing there, tucked away in the forest. And there's actually a trail that goes along next to that creek there and also connects to the runway in front of that little forest hideout. And that creek runs all the way along and actually connects to the moat, which goes around the Lion Knight's Castle, which is on a custom plate as well. The Lion Knight's Castle is actually lifted up off the mill's plate by one of those rock panels. I think that's 5 or 6 bricks tall. Can't quite remember. Don't ask me why I can't remember that fact. I've used a lot of those rock panels in all the different landscaping here. But those rock panels are absolutely covered in slopes, cheese slopes, 1x1 studs, and all sorts of different vegetation, and there's all sorts of little stories all throughout this little scene here, or diorama. There's a little trail there that connects to the other trail in front of the forest hideout. and then this connects to the entrance leading up to the Lion Knight's castle, going over top of that moat. And once again, that moat is water, of course, and that water actually flows down all the way along there, flows down through the farm, underneath that bridge, and then toward the Venetian houses. So all of that water is actually connected. Next to the Lion Knight's castle is the medieval jousting set. Just such a beautiful set here. I integrated it onto its own Mills plate once again. It's 2 of those 48 by 48 plates, and then I added a custom set of bleachers here, and also a custom concession stand as well. And then of course we have the jousting. So this is the original set right here, and then these 2 additions are fully custom, and of course the plate that it sits on is fully custom as well. And that plate is just a little bit shorter here than the Lion Knight castles, because I wanted to create this rolling green hill effect. Next up, we have a multi-tiered plate which hosts the medieval blacksmith. So it's raised right up there. Got a nice trail leading up to it. Once again, all sorts of vegetation. And then I built this custom horse stable as well. And there's a little pond that just adds some color and some life to this plate as well. But I love the multi-tiered plate. I think it was definitely worth doing that. And there's actually a trail that connects once again from the blacksmith in front of the horse stable, and then right down here onto the platform coverings, which go all the way along to the train station. So one of my main focuses has been that raised platform. I just really wanted to get that developed, and I did it with medieval. Originally it was actually Ninjago, and I shifted gears away from that. These sets would look pretty neat up there, but I really wanted to work some sort of medieval stuff into my city. Originally I thought I was going to create a medieval scene with like a big diorama underneath the Lego city, but I was like, yeah, I just can't do that, unfortunately. I just can't bend down there, and gaining access to it was relatively difficult, so I decided to work the medieval stuff up on the raised platform, and I think it looks really good in the background of the Lego city. There is one more plate up there that has to be developed, and I plan on putting the Sanderson sisters' cottage in that corner by the blacksmith. Our other train station is right over here. That one was built during the last update, so I'm not going to cover that because it just becomes a little bit repetitive, but I was able to improve the green spaces here throughout the Lego city. So this used to be just green studs. I added a lot of cheese slopes and a lot of 1x2 slopes to this area here. Also some trees, the little pre-molded ones, the bushes that are pre-molded as well, and then these custom ones here on the 2x2 circular bricks. They couldn't be too tall because they'd run into the custom raised line train track, right, which is fully customized as well. Those nice looking supports, and also fully tiled off track. But all of this just looks so much better when it has all of this nice texture. So worked really hard on creating that as well. And I made this little park right here, which is beside the modular construction site, which is a Bricklink designer program set. But this park actually integrates the bonsai tree, and then it has a hedge here from this train support that wraps all the way around. So it's a new hedge design that I really like, and I'm going to be integrating a lot of those into my amusement park. But it also has this nice little trail that goes around this pond here, so people can come sit, hang out, maybe have a picnic underneath the bonsai tree like those folks are right there. And this little green space actually extends all the way over here to the sidewalk on the back side of the construction site, and also the corner garage. So I've been trying to up my detail game and just make the Lego city look a little bit better by using a lot of parts. And I think that looks pretty fantastic. There's one other thing that I was able to get done in this time period, and that is actually the bowling alley. It has a second floor. So the last time we had a look at the Lego city, the bowling alley was just its standard build with one floor, but I was able to use Brick Artisan's instructions from rebrookable.com and add the diner and arcade as a second floor. Hey, you know what? Filming an update with these trains operational is a little bit difficult for me. You know why? Because they're awesome and they're sort of distracting, and they also make noise, so I want the audio of the trains to line up with my voice. So I can't do little audio adjustments and fix all my little word mistakes, so I'm sorry about that. You know what else I've been working on? Is the amusement park. That's been a project that has really sort of baffled my mind as of late, but I am really excited about it. I think we're heading in the right direction now. I love seeing these trains going around this amusement park. Why don't we start the tour off with a little POV shot of the Hogwarts Express cruising around the amusement park. That is just brilliant. Look at that. Oh yeah. Super happy with that, especially when you see the Ferris wheel moving as well. I really like this passing through the Studgate train station. I really enjoy that train station. It's so detailed. It's massive. It's hard to integrate, but it looks really cool, right? Like, I just really like it. Passing through the amusement park, like by the loop coaster and the carousel, and also the haunted banner, and then into the dark train tunnel where you can see the other train. That's so neat. Over the train crossing by the roller coaster, then back into the Studgate train station. So not a bad view from the Hogwarts Express there. And you know what? Just outside the amusement park, there's a new triple boutique hotel that I built using 3 boutique hotels. It sits on 2 32 by 32 base plates, so 2 standard modular building base plates. I love this model here. It's fantastic. You know what? First floor done, second floor done, third floor, oh, it's not furnished yet, but the rooftop patio is done as well, and that's looking pretty good. But yeah, the amusement park has been one of my main focuses over the last few weeks here, and I'm pretty happy with the design. So we've got the entrance, then we have the custom double Disney castle. And that one there is going to be upgraded yet again with its own plate. I'm actually going to surround the entire base with water. So over the past little while here, I've been working on these platform coverings as well, which have been completed. And there's those amazing tunnels that you saw the Hogwarts Express pass through, and also the ground line. Yeah, they look really good. Here in the amusement park, we have the Haunted Mansion, mills plated and integrated along with the haunted house, the roller coaster, the carousel, hot shots, the loop coaster. Whoa, it's tall. And then also the mixer, which sits on a custom platform above the washroom. And this can be turned on just by pressing this button right here. Maybe I should have had that on the whole time, but it's pretty loud. It'd probably make me sick. And then we also have the Studgate train station as well. So the amusement park is looking pretty fresh, and I can't wait to continue developing this entire area. Lots of motion happening here in the city, and I can't wait to get more of these rides fired up. I could probably fire up this one here, the carousel. That would probably work no problem. I think I have to make some adjustments to both of my roller coasters. With the camera mounted sideways on the train car, we can really see some of the amusement park details. Granted, there's not very many amusement park details right now, and once we actually add more detail, it's gonna look so much better. And I can't wait to get this perspective again, like this POV shot, once we have all the details added to the amusement park. I just think it's gonna look awesome when it's all tiled off. Really hyped about the amusement park project, and I just can't wait to finish it. I'm so eager to get it done. I also added some more green space on this side of the train station as well. Included in that is this little coffee cart right here, a matching pathway, and also some new palm trees. Eventually all the palm trees in the Lego City are going to be upgraded so they look like this here, and I actually have the parts to build 30 of them on the way. There we go, we've got Town Hall, and you'll probably notice that there's one modular building missing out of the city that's also on display at Brickworld. Look at that, we're following the other train into the tunnel. That's so cool. And then the farm, the backside of the haunted house, Pop Culture Street, and also some residential buildings like the McAllister's house, then the roller coaster, and sort of going past the amusement park here. Some of the stuff is like really close to the raised line. Like it's like the buildings are right there. It's like, holy cow, that is close. But there's enough room for my train and also my camera to sneak by so that we can get these really neat shots of the amusement park and just the Lego City in general. Love having that Ferris wheel moving. You know what? It's my wife's favorite amusement park ride, and I think it's my favorite as well. And I love having it hooked up to the IR receiver and IR remote so I can actually control the speed of it. That is essential. Otherwise, it just goes way too fast. So everybody, there we have all of the changes that I was able to make to the Lego City over the past 50 days. Not too bad. Not too shabby at all. You know, there's a new building, a new amusement park layout, a bunch of new trees and green space, another building expansion, and also the entire raised platform has been developed, and I'm sure I forgot some things as well. In addition to making all of those changes to the Lego City, I was also able to make some other changes to the Lego room in general. That includes the displays and also my studio space. So why don't we have a look at those after checking out these awesome POV shots. You know, I film these voiceovers at my desk here, so I'm sorry if you can hear my kids in the background. Sometimes there's just no avoiding it, but this shot's pretty cool because the raised train is actually pulling the camera so we can see it pass through the city from a different perspective. And I think that's pretty neat, right? Also gives you a good shot of the studio space as well, and then passing underneath the glass canopy of the train station and making our way back to downtown and toward that train tunnel. Really like this perspective here. The modular buildings in the downtown look really great. However, there's that one big open space there right by the farm that needs to be developed. Yeah, so I was able to make some changes to my studio space as well. It's looking pretty good over here right now. You know what? These tables here used to be like stuck in place, specifically this one here, and I needed more knee space. So I actually moved my IKEA Alex units over here. They have all my spare parts in them. This is like part overflow. So I redid all of these drawers and also changed their position and did a whole bunch of sorting. That feels pretty good. I also made this white wall, so when I take photos or film reviews, it looks pretty good. However, I will say I need to improve my lighting in some cases. And I did that by actually moving the minifigures up top here. Also, I was able to change up my shelving. If I want to, I can throw another shelf up here, and that can host my laptop or all of these unsorted parts. And of course, that would sit right below all of these amazing Lego Star Wars helmets. So some positive changes here to my studio space that we're able to increase storage with these drawers and also with these other cabinets right over here as well. It's nice having these cabinets here because they hide my mess. I also moved some Lego sets behind these cabinets and behind these drawer units as well to free up a bedroom for my daughter. So that was hugely positive because now she has her own bedroom. Yeah, I did it for her. I moved my Lego upstairs, and no, that wasn't right. I made some changes to the displays over here as well, such as the Marvel display. That's been upgraded. Looks pretty good with the Hall of Armor. Also Ant-Man. The Nano Gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet. I don't think I made any other changes to that display. But I also added 2 new sets. The UCS X-Wing right up there by the Mando helmet. And then also Pac-Man right there as well. And in order to fit those in this area, I had to shift a whole bunch of things around. And I also added all the new Harry Potter brickheads to the brickhead display. So there hasn't been very many shelving updates or set display updates over the last 50 days. Been more so focusing on the Lego City, which feels pretty good. So yeah, that's really about it, everybody. Why don't we wrap this video up with a little bit of POV. So we're forward facing on the ground line now, and this is a beautiful shot. We come through the tunnel, we saw the Hogwarts Express zoom by, and we can also see the raised line just above us. So neat. And how good do the ballast train tracks look? Yeah, there's a little bit of weird stuff happening with the switches and some of the flex track. For example, right here when we're making our way down to the road level height, there has to be that flex track there because there's that weird curve around the telebeam, and then also has to go down because the road level is a little bit lower than the mills plated ballast line. And then we're back into the darkness of the tunnel and underneath the platform there and back out by the amusement park. Now we're getting dragged by the Hogwarts Express, but it's actually not the Hogwarts Express. I'm actually using the tender from the Disney Castle to pull my little POV wagon here. That's what I'm going to call it, the POV wagon, but it perfectly follows the ground line. Really like that. But actually, yeah, just using the tender, and then I have a little, just one little set of wheels that has a 6x6 plate on it, and then 2 bricks, and I'm able to wedge my GoPro between the 2 bricks, and then I can hook it up to any train car, and it's just like perfect. It's nice and easy. I'm not driving the entire train right now because it's, you know, the GoPro is pretty heavy, so it's easier just to hook it up to a small set of wheels, and then I can just drag it with just the motorized portion of any train essentially. So yeah, it's pretty easy to set up, and I enjoy making it, but there's a lot of editing involved and definitely a lot of trial and error with getting everything lined up in regards to the trains, like passing each other and just making sure the footage looks good. And then, you know, some derailments, and sometimes the camera's too wide for the track and it hits certain things. It's pretty funny, but it is what it is. It's pretty fun to make, and I love seeing the perspective, or I love seeing the Lego City from this perspective because I personally don't see it like this either, right? So it's neat that I'm able to see it for myself and also share it with you. Hey everybody, I had a really good time making this video here today. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let me know what you think of all the changes that we've made to the Lego room over the last 50 days. And remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff. Thank you so much for popping on by, and have yourselves a fantastic day.